coming in with regard to Congress party and MP Rahul Gandhi. He's in London at the moment and launched scathing attacks on how Indian democracy is dying under Narendra Modi's rule. A day after Rahul Gandhi defended his Cambridge lecture, accused Prime Minister Modi of defaming India, he was now addressing a conference organized by the Indian Journalists Association. Rahul Gandhi went on to say that the so-called defenders of democracy, which are United States of America and European countries, seem to be oblivious that a huge chunk of the democratic model is falling apart. He went on to say that opposition parties are battling for the Indian democracy and that opposition has a vision to bring people together. BJP, of course, watching this, slammed Rahul Gandhi, immediately jumped into it, accusing him of betraying India's integrity and sovereignty on foreign soil. Here's what Rahul Gandhi said and how the BJP attacked him.
So the surprising thing is that the so-called defenders of democracy, which are the United States, European countries, seem to just be oblivious that a huge chunk of the democratic model has come undone, right? Which is a real problem. With regards to, and frankly, the opposition is fighting that battle, right? And it's not just an Indian battle. It's actually a much more important battle. It is a battle for a huge part of the democratic people.
How would you react if democracy suddenly disappeared in Europe? Right? You'd be shocked and you'd be like, oh my God, that's a massive blow to democracy. Well, how would you react if something, a structure 3.5 times Europe suddenly went non-democratic? Right? That's happened already. That's not something that is going to happen in the future. That's already happened. But there's no reaction. And you know, if we're talking about Europe, that's the thing that shocks me. There's no reaction, right? And of course, there are reasons for there not being a reaction. There is sort of trade and there's money and stuff like that. But Indian democracy is a public good. And if you're looking at the democratic, the democratic structure, it is the single most important public good. It's the largest. It's 3 or 4 times the size of the United States in terms of numbers. Same with regards to Europe. So the surprising thing is that the so-called defenders of democracy, which are the United States, European countries, seem to just be oblivious that a huge chunk of the democratic model has come undone, right? Which is a real problem.
This statement is absolutely a betrayal of the idea of India's sovereignty, unity and integrity. The fact that you seek intervention of a foreign power to intervene in your thriving democracy, the world's largest democracy, is nothing short of betrayal. And this is not the first time Chetty has done this. You remember that he had once appealed to Nicholas Burns that the United States should get involved in Indian democratic matters. We may have our differences, we may have our problems, but we are fiercely independent and we need no imperialistic or foreign powers to intervene in our democracy. In fact, today is a situation that even Britain needs an Indian origin person to guide their democracy. This only betrays the sense of inferiority complex that Rahul Gandhi has. And perhaps he thinks that all things that white men do is the most sacrosanct and therefore he's seeking the intervention of one. But it is extremely unbecoming of an Indian member of parliament to seek foreign intervention into issues which are Indian. And perhaps it only betrays that in Vyakti Virod, how this person has now gone down to doing Desh Virod,